3 homages. Buddham Saranam Gacchami. Dhammam Saranam Gacchami. Sangam Saranam Gacchami.
Good morning and welcome to you all. It's so good to see all of you this morning. Welcome to our special Ohigan service. We're honoring the natural occurring of the equinox. So there's a special welcome to those of you who are coming here for the first time. We welcome you, and we welcome those of you who are tuning in at home and maybe from a far distance away like Hawaii. So we begin our service with our core practice of chanting the Shoshinge. The Shoshinge was written by Shinran Shonin, our lineage founder, over 800 years ago in Japan. Chanting is a core practice of our tradition. That's why we emphasize chanting the Shoshinge. It was composed and contains all of the Pure Land teachings from the 7 masters of India, China, and Japan. So there's a lot going on in this chant, but it's also just a lovely, flowy poem that just wells up a lot of gratitude and compassion in all of us. Shinran wanted us to know that our life is more than just a simple journey from the cradle to the grave. We are part of a long, unbroken thread of life, which extends deep, deep into the past, and we are responsible for helping to extend that thread into the future. During our chanting, we will offer incense at our Oshoko altar, and you'll notice this thin white path. The Dharma talk is called the Thin White Path, and you'll find out all about that in the reading and the Dharma talk. So it's a little fragile, so just be mindful as you step forward to offer incense. 2 by 2 is preferred. And we offer incense in gratitude, whatever naturally wells up into your heart. Feeling that gratitude feeling, that's the feeling you want when you come up. And then we have 2 other altars, our altar to Kannon Bodhisattva, the Bodhisattva of compassion. If someone has recently passed away, you can light a candle for them and write their name on our register, or you can direct compassion to a place or someone or yourself. Wherever you want to direct it is good. And then we have the Medicine Buddha altar here, and you're welcome to offer incense there for extra healing. So high on our altar is Amida Buddha, the Buddha of infinite wisdom and compassion. And this Buddha has created an energetic realm, the Pure Land realm, where we can tap into if we just stop and breathe and know that we are supported. Even when we don't feel like it, we are. So thank you for being here, and we will begin our service. Shoshinge.
One technical note, we actually hired a sound engineer to rejigger all the microphones and everything. And so far, other than the gigantic feedback experience, we can hear things.
Maybe a little too
But
loud.
don't be surprised if there's other surprises. Namu Fukashi Ko Hozo Bosa Iniji Sai Seiji Zai Obusho Token Shobu Jodo In Kokudo Ninden Shizen Maku Mujo Shushogan Choho Ke Udai Guze Goko shi yui shi shonju, ju se myo shon monji po, ho mu ryo mu hen ko, mu ge mu tai ko en no, shoujo kangi chi e ko, udan nan shi mu shoko, chonichi ga ko shoji se, isai gunjo mu ko sho. Hongan myogo shoujogo shishin shingyo ganni in joto gakusho dai nehan hishi metendo ganjoju nyorai shoi koshu se yui se mi da hongon kai gojoku wakuji gunjo kai o shin yorai ryo jitengon Noho ichinen ki aishin, fudan bon no tokune han, bon sho gyaku ho sai e ryu, nyo shu shi nyu kai chimi, sei shu shin kojo shogo, ino sui ha mu myo an, ton nai shinzo shi un mu, jofu shinji shinjin ten, Hinyoni kofu unmu shige myomu an, gyakushin kenkyo daikyo ki, sokuo chose go akushu, isai zen makubon bunin, monshin yorai guze gan, butengon kodai shoge sha, zeni myo fundarike, Mida bu honganen bu jaken kyo manakushujo shingyo juji jinni nan shushi nan mukashi indo saiten shironge chukaji chiki shikoso kendai shoko se shoi myo nyorai honze oki Shakan yorai yoga sen Ishu gomyo nanten jiku Ruju daiji shuto se Shitno zai ha umu ken Senze daijo mujo ho Shokan giji shoan raku Kenji nangyo roku roku Shingyo igyo shidoraku Hokunen midabu hongan, jinen sokuji nyu hitenjo, yui no joshon yorai go, oho dai hi guze on, tenjin bosa zoron se,
奇妙無下根如来永寿たら謙信寺高専六朝大聖願こ有本願力栄根移動群上小維新金融空独大崩壊筆脈入大永寿宗特使蓮華造世界即小信用法昇進有望の人間人図入賞寺音寺王下本寺動乱両天使上皇乱勝菩薩来三蔵ルシ十条教本書専業気楽法天神菩薩論中下報道因果見世願Ohigan Eiko Yuta Riki Shoujo Shi Yui Shinjin Wakuzen Bonbu Shinjin Ho Shochi Shoji Sokune Han Hishi Muryo Komyo Do Shou Shujo Kaifuke Dosha Keisho Donan Sho Yui Myojo Do Katsunyu万全自力変言集円満特語感染症三風三心軽音言増魔法明道非因一生増悪地偶税思案妖怪称名化全道独名武将意公愛上作両逆枠公明明語権二年介入本願大地会行者小樹金剛心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即小小四上楽献身公開一大教返帰安養加二祭先祖出身反戦人法家二道小弁流国中枠人唯勝部火薬剤非正集中煩悩証言水不見大非無権上昇が本次元空妙仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書後編集戦略本願具悪性現来生じ臨伝芸慶地義上位小子即入弱上無意楽非知心人理の流空教大自主使徒上祭無変極俗枠同族自主具道心唯家心しこそせナムアミダハブナムアミダハブナムアミダハブナムアミダブナムアミダハブナムミダ 大丈夫のこの方は今に自己をへたまえりほしのこうりやぬきわもなくせのもみょうを照らすなり。ナムアミダムナムアミダムナムアミダブナアミダブナムはアミダブナムはアミダブナムはアミダブナムはアミダブナムケダの降臨きはもなし高速かむるものはみいなうむを離ると述べたも平等確に奇妙せよコがんにしくどく平等正祭どうも大神北条はらこナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマン
Now we would like to invite the children to go to Dharma school with Reverend Shelley and Aaron. We will sing them out with Let the Buddha Walk with You. Let the Buddha walk with you.
Good morning. Our reading today is The Thin White Path. It was adapted from the Dharma teacher, Zendo. Now, imagine this, a weary traveler aimlessly trudging through the depths of an ancient forest. Towering cedars and dense pines obscure the sky. Fallen leaves cushion his steps. But the path had long disappeared between roots and undergrowth. For days he had wandered, driven by restlessness he could not name, regrets that clung like thorns, desires smoldered in his chest, fears whispered from every shadow. His clothes hung in tatters, his feet ached in worn sandals, and a satchel with rice and water swung at his hip. His clothes hung in tatters, his feet ached in worn sandals. Each breath carried the scent of, apprehension and decay. He pressed on, fearing he was being followed. Gradually, the trees began to thin, the ground sloped downward, and a strange duality reached his senses. The crackle of fire ahead and the cold rush of water. The traveler pushed through the last screen of branches and emerged onto a narrow strip of barren land. Before him lay two rivers that met in the middle. To his left roared the southern river of fire, a torrent of molten flame that leapt and curled, its surface alive with flaming tongues. Their flames hissed in pure rage. To his right surged the northern river of tumultuous dark water, icy, bottomless, swollen with churning currents. Waves crashed, swallowing debris and spitting foam that glittered in the cold, dim night. Between the rivers was scarcely room for a man to stand. Yet they remained separate. Flames leapt across to the water. Water hurled itself into the fire, exploding into ash and mist. The two forces violently clashed. The crashing roar drowning every other sound. Behind the traveler, the forest had turned hostile. Distant pursuers, their shouts grew near. Kill him! No, rob him! Bandits calling to one another. Wild beasts stamping through the brush. Their hunger was palpable. They closed in, drawn in by the scent of a solitary man. There was no way back. The only path was forward, across this deadly divide, toward a faint golden haze in the distant other shore. The traveler, he dropped to his knees at the edge, heart pounding. How could anyone cross such an obstacle? The rivers mocked him with their fury. In his despair, his gaze caught sight of something extraordinary, a thin white path, just 4 or 5 or maybe 8 inches wide, stretching right between the 2 rivers to the other shore. It was a path that gleamed like moonlight on snow, fragile, luminous, almost unreal. Waves washed over it constantly from the north. Flames licked at it from the south. Yet the path remained untouched, pure and unbroken. As he stared, 2 voices echoed across the chaos. From the near shore came the calm, measured voice of Shakyamuni Buddha. Do not look back, child. Step onto the path with unwavering trust. The way is narrow and danger is great, but I have shown you the truth that leads beyond birth and death. Walk straight ahead without wavering. And then from the other shore rose another voice, warm, boundless, filled with compassion and wisdom. It was Amida Buddha calling, come to me. I have vowed to receive all who entrust themselves to me. My Buddha field waits, a pure land free of suffering. Rely on my power alone. Place one foot before the other, and I will bring you safely across. The traveler trembled. The bandits had reached the clearing's edge. Their swords were sharp. Fool, that path is a mirage. It will crumble. It will sink. Come back to the trees. We will help you. And the beasts, they snarled in agreement. Doubts flooded in. Past failings, unworthiness, the sheer impossibility of the crossing. One wrong step, he would be consumed in fire and water. Yet, beneath the fear, a quiet certainty stirred. Entrusting, born not of his meager strength, but from something deeper. He remembered teachings heard long ago that self effort alone could never conquer life's perils. But the deep reliance on Amida's vow could. Drawing in a hurried breath, the traveler set one foot on the white path. It held firm, cool, and steady amid the storm. He began to walk. Flames seared close, heat blistering his skin, water sprayed, soaking his robes, threatening to sweep him away. He kept his eyes fixed forward, not glancing left or right. The bandits shouted lies again. You are doomed. Turn back. But he listened only to the guiding voices. Shakyamuni urging steadfastness from the near shore. Amida promising welcome from ahead on the other shore. The journey felt eternal, step after halting step. The pathway slick with spray and ash. Oh, his exhausted limbs dragged. Doubts surged again and again, making the white ribbon seem to waver. Each time Amida's call returned, gentle but unyielding. I am here. My vow is true. Continue on the path. And so the traveler did, step after step, surrendering every calculation, surrendering every fear. At last, the other shore drew near. The roar of the river softened to a murmur. A gentle breeze carried the scent of lotus and distant bells. The traveler's final steps brought him onto golden sand. He fell to his knees, tears streaming. Before him stood Amida Buddha, radiant, surrounded by bodhisattvas, their faces shining with joy. Amida extended a hand and raised him gently. Welcome, Amida said. You have crossed by your enduring, entrusting faith in other power. Here, suffering ends forever. We will now have a few minutes of meditation accompanied by music.
will start to speak quietly to make sure that my microphone, okay, here we go. Okay. It's a little louder actually on the thingy, so that's money well spent. Hopefully our friends at home can hear me. That was the problem before. They got a picture of everything that was happening, but the talking wasn't coming through, so we've fixed all that now. Well, welcome again to our Reno Buddhist Center. It's good to see you all this morning. We're happy to see old friends. Your familiar faces really light up the room. It's much different here for the 2 weeks when nobody's here. It's a little desolate. But anyway, you are our special Reno Buddhist Center family, and make the Sangha what it is. So thank you for being here. And we warmly welcome our visitors. Good job. You've stepped into a new place and sat with unfamiliar ideas. We're glad you're here. So today marks Ohigan, the spring equinox, as Reverend Shelley mentioned. It's a holiday we celebrate twice a year, which is fun because most people's holidays are only once a year, but this one is twice a year, so it's like a bonus holiday. It's a time to remember our teachers. In Japan, people go to family graves and memorials and tidy them up and things like that. So it happens twice a year, 3 times a year if you go at Obon too. It's a time to walk the middle path between this shore and the other shore that was so dramatically described in the reading. Ohigan specifically means the other shore. So the holiday is literally the other shore day. There is some folk theory that the distance between samsara and the Buddha field of Amida Buddha it's a little bit closer on the Ohigan days or time of year. So it's doesn't seem that far. I mean, it's just we gather now to cross toward clarity and compassion, just right in this season of balance. Today we talk about the thin white path. The reading probably echoes in your head still. Zendo's parable of these 2 rivers and that narrow white path between them. We look at this teaching because it fits Ohigan perfectly, as taught by our great Pure Land Dharma teacher, Zendo, in China. Before we get to the parable, let's meet the teacher behind it. His picture is behind me. A little bit difficult to crane around, but you can see one that says Zendo by the picture. That is Zendo. He was actually a painter and used his painting skills in temples, and so we think it's possible that he actually looked like the picture that was found in China of him. So, but we never really know. Time is a vast thing. Zendo lived in a golden age of Buddhism, the Tang dynasty in China. Buddhism was booming everywhere. The famous pilgrim, our friends in India used to call, we would talk about Xuanzang, was a famous pilgrim who came from China to India to find out what was really all that Buddhism was all about. Buddhism had flowed from India to China, and it was a distant thing. So he wanted to know the real thing, real deal. He went to Nalanda University, so he went to found the actual Buddhist university and studied there. He returned with a wonderful trove of Dharma learning. So Zendo's time, the Buddhist priests were writing and debating and practicing and translating based on that wonderful infusion of energy from what he brought back with. It was a lively time. Zendo was born near the capital, Xi'an, in 613 of the Common Era. So quite a while ago. I don't really know anybody in European history from 613, unless like King Arthur or somebody, I don't know. Um, no, I think of that as the Dark Ages. Do we know a famous person who's from 613? Somebody? Charlemagne the Great. Okay. Um, about that time in time. Other side of the planet. Zendo entered monastic life as a young person. He trained diligently, trained hard. He studied the Samadhi practice in Wu Chen Monastery on Mount Zongnang. He learned Pure Land visualization meditation under Jing Ying. Later, he moved to Zhuangzong Temple, a major center of Buddhist learning. And then something happened. He met the teacher, Doshaku. Doshaku's picture's behind me, too. Zendo was about 30 at that time. Doshaku taught the Nembutsu path with clarity in such a way that Zendo felt the ground really shift under his feet. He realized that all his training, all his effort, all his arduous meditations had not touched the deepest truth. There, he saw that for ordinary beings like us, only Amida's path truly saves or truly transforms us. He did not see this with disappointment or despair. He saw it with relief. It was like discovering that a door that you had been pushing on for years actually opens the other way. After that, Zendo devoted himself to advancing the Pure Land way. He wrote the 5 works in 9 scrolls. He diligently copied sutras by hand. He painted Pure Land images in temples that were being restored. He taught regular people for decades. His compassion was so deep that later generations honored him as an embodiment of Amida Buddha's compassion. Yeah. Honen and Shinran, our teachers, both looked to him as a great light of Pure Land Buddhism. And one brightest light he gave us is this parable of the thin white path. So, there's this traveler. You've heard it before, but I'm going to repeat it because it'll kind of gel for you. There's this traveler wandering through the dangerous forest, a thicket of confusion. The bandits pursue and threaten him. The beasts, too. Rawr. That was the fun part. I like that. Yeah. Running away really is what he was doing. And when he broke through the branches, there's this terrible realization. Blocked. A river of fire and a river of water. It's just like a cliff, what are you going to do? I can't fly. So between these 2 rivers, a thin white path. Only 5 inches wide. We'll take the average. A thin white path to the other shore. Behind him, the bandits are shouting, stop, we'll kill you, we'll plunder you. I don't know if you're going to kill somebody, why you would stop, but what are you going to do? Ahead, there's that voice. Come straight on. My vow will protect you. And behind, the other voice, do not fear. There's this gesture the Buddha makes of no fear. Take the path. You will be safe. Reassured, our traveler walks the path without looking back. Eyes focused on the image of Amida. Reaching the other shore, our traveler is welcomed in abiding peace. Zendo tells us this is not a fantasy. It is our life. Every part of the story is a symbol. The wilderness is the realm of samsara, the difficult world we live in. The river of water is greed and craving, drowning us. The river of fire is anger and resentment, burning us. The bandits are our blind passions, stealing our life. And the thin white path is the Nembutsu. The path is the heart of Shinjin, our true and trusting heart, supported by Amida's vow. That voice behind Shakyamuni Buddha, urging us to simply trust. The voice ahead is Amida Buddha calling to us, come just as you are. Not looking back is single-heartedness. It is letting go of the idea that we can or must save ourselves. Zendo says something very important here. The path feels like it is 5 inches wide because our faith is weak. Our confidence in the Dharma is thin. But Amida's vow makes faith unbreakable. That is the key. The narrowness is not a flaw of the path. It is a reflection of our own anxious heart. The path is narrow because we are narrow in our view. We have the tunnel vision that the fight or flight reflex propagates. But the path is also white. It is bright. It is reliable. It is unsullied. It is propagated entirely by Amida's compassion, Amida's wisdom. We walk a path that looks fragile, but it is actually indestructible. This parable is not only about dramatic spiritual moments. It is about everyday life. We walk the thin white path every day, again and again. Sometimes we cross it when anger and craving rise up. Zendo puts the rivers of fire and water right next to each other. Through this experience with the Dharma, his experience with the Dharma teaching, he knew how human beings worked. When we cling to something, anger is close by, a river of fire. When we burn with resentment, craving and wanting, thirsting seems to soothe us. These two rivers in us feed each other. They entrap us. Maybe someone cuts us off in traffic. Maybe someone says a sharp word. Suddenly, you are standing between fire and water. In that moment, the thin white path also appears. One Namu Amida Butsu is one step forward. It does not erase the rivers. It carries you across them. It gives you the courage to take the next step, even when your heart is shaking. Sometimes we cross the path when we feel overwhelmed. There are so many teachings in the world, so many practices, all that advice. Do this, don't do that. Eat this, don't eat that. All these self-help methods that are generated. Have you seen how many spirituality apps there are in the App Store? There's a lot. It's easy to feel just like the traveler surrounded by bandits, pulled in every direction, unsure which path is real. Zendo cuts through the noise. He gives us two voices to tune in. Shakyamuni Buddha behind us saying, don't be afraid, and Amida ahead of us, come just as you are. When we feel overwhelmed, the Pure Land path simplifies everything. We do not have to master every practice. We do not have to perfect ourselves. We simply hear the call and take that step. step that is meant for us. Sometimes we cross the path when doubt arises. The traveler hesitates. He wants to trust, but he is afraid. Zendo does not scold him. He shows that the feeling of fragility is a sign that other power is working. When we think that our self is strong, we tend to rely on ourselves. We get overconfident. When we feel our faith is fragile, we begin to rely on Amida. The narrowness of the path reveals the depth of the vow. The trembling of our heart reveals the strength of Amida's compassion. The moment we feel least capable is often the moment we are most held. The Buddha holds us, never to be let go. The Shakyamuni once told a story about a man who refused to cross the river because he wanted the water to stop moving first. The Buddha smiled and said, "Rivers do not work that way. Life does not work that way. The thin white path is not a path for perfect people. It is a path for people who are already in the midst of the mess. People like us." So today on Ohigan, we remember the other shore is not far away. It is not a distant land. It is a place we touch when we trust deeply. It is the place we touch when we say, Namu Amida Butsu. It is a place we touch when we take one step forward on the thin white path. Well, let's finish by saying the Buddha's abiding wish for every being who struggles. Just say after me, may you be happy. May you be free from harm. May you receive boundless compassion. And may peace and harmony fill your heart. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. Namu Amida Butsu. At this point in our service, we usually sing our Reno Buddhist Center theme song. It is on page 48 of the service book, and Masako will play the piano for us, and we will sing out together. I do not have the announcement sheet, but thank you. Sometimes there's a mini hoonie that puts it under my cushion, but not today. We don't have many hoonies here. Often they're small. That would make them many hoonies. Most important announcement is that there are tea and treats downstairs in the fellowship hall, the Hiroma Hall. Just go through the door and circle around the stairs that way. We will have a newcomer circle there. So, Rob, are you here, Rob? Oh, okay. I had invited him on the telephone to Newcomer Circle, so I wanted to check on him. So if you're new and you want to hear questions and interactive discussions, if you're not new and you enjoy that sort of thing, please come and sit with us. There are many other announcements on the order of service. The most important one, though, is in a box here. There is an RBC Parents Meeting on March 21st at 3 p.m. We invite all parents of children. All parents of young children and their children are invited to this monthly offering to help families be more intentional about their Buddhist practice and teachings in your home. Childcare is provided so you can focus on sitting with other parents from the Sangha. We meet in Hiroma Hall, so enter through the Taylor Street door. Thus endeth the service.